Nintendo has been criticized for how they've handled the marketing for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which is sure to be one of the biggest games of the Switch's life cycle. Today we're going to examine whether or not that criticism is justified or simply an overreaction from fans and haters alike. So, first let's talk about what Tears of the Kingdom is. It's a follow-up to one of the greatest games of all time. It sits at a 97 on Metacritic, Breath of the Wild that is, and that is 14th all time. This game is highly critically acclaimed, a massive success, everything that you could ever say about it. So expectations are through the roof. So let's talk about how they introduced us to Tears of the Kingdom in the first place. The first trailer, E3 2019. The game is introduced to us with a creepy trailer that felt like a sharp contrast from Breath of the Wild. We're shown Ganondorf's body as Link and Zelda discover it. Malice pours out from it like hands reaching for something, until Zelda falls and the castle rises to end the trailer. Other than this whole reveal being very exciting, and truly it was, if you weren't there at the time, you don't even know. It was crazy. There were also other things to glean from the trailer if you wanted to look deep at it, and you know Zelda fans do. Almost the entirety of the trailer takes place underground, and we essentially had zero underground in Breath of the Wild, so that was just very interesting to note. Additionally, the trailer is presented from a more narrative perspective, which was a very important thing for Nintendo to do early on with this game, because that was one of the biggest complaints for Breath of the Wild. And this trailer got people immediately excited for what the story could be and its many gameplay possibilities as well with the underground. So, the opening trailer is definitely a very good trailer, and it's not part of the issue with the marketing at all, in my opinion. So, let's move on. The second trailer, E3 2021. This trailer builds upon the first by continuing to give us the ominous vibes that you guys see here, with more shots of Ganon and Zelda falling. Then, eventually, you guys will see, it cuts to Link skydiving to the islands in the sky. This is the first time they've really shown us shots of gameplay as well for this game, which is very important to do, of course, and it begins to shine a light on what is going to make this game different. This is what's new. This is what we're going to do in this game. I would say the reaction to this trailer was generally positive. However, definitely people a feeling that we don't know enough about this game yet. From two trailers, we essentially had slight gameplay differences with the Sky Islands and a hinted at more involved story. Perhaps fair to say the jury is still out on how different the game really could be or will be. It certainly felt like the next trailer needed to give us a lot more story, more new gameplay, and whatever else it could. But yeah, the trailer still felt pretty solid, and the general reaction was positive to this trailer. So, this trailer is not where things went awry for the fans and haters alike. Official trailer number 1, September 2020. I have 2021 on here, but I think it's 2022. Anyways. So we have a title drop. We are close. Yet there's more and more people questioning this game. Have these developers not earned our trust yet? I don't know. Well, here's why this trailer really didn't show us anything of importance. We got more lore hints, but nothing concrete enough to be a hook for people. And you guys see all these murals, right? Definitely a lot of lore hints, but nothing super concrete. In terms of gameplay, there really wasn't anything in this trailer at all. There wasn't anything standing out. Less than a year away with nothing standing out, well, that's not good. Of course, the lore hints did set the Zelda community ablaze with theories, but it's just far too vague to be any sort of hook. This one really made people question what this game is doing so differently to deserve their money, to warrant the sequel. What about this gameplay experience is going to be good enough? Personally, I think it's fine that a sequel looks similar to its predecessor. And for some reason, there's been a tirade against sequels that gave people more or an expanded version of the good gameplay that they already have enjoyed in the past. Stuff like Splatoon 3 has been criticized for this. Personally, I think that is I don't even know how to begin to tackle that. It's a different video entirely. But this is where some people begin to feel underwhelmed, and I mean, you guys just saw the whole trailer there. It certainly didn't give us a lot of gameplay, really at all, to make you think that this game would be all that different. And for Breath of the Wild, a game that really focuses on gameplay first, that's the thing that you would want to see the most. So, yeah, that's definitely an issue. Official trailer number 2. So I thought this trailer was by far the best so far. New enemies, more story and lore hints, and hints at huge new gameplay mechanics. It admittedly was still vague, but I thought it was the best trailer so far. However, the detractors, or the people calling it glorified DLC, have come out and been more prominent than they have ever before. I think at the end of the day, it comes down to the fact that what they're showing hasn't been extraordinarily different. In terms of gameplay, it's been shots of mostly the same overworld from Breath of the Wild, mostly unchanged, of just a Link moving in the environment. I think had they showed something more dungeon-like or combat changes, it could have gotten people really hyped. But the core gameplay, Link has been the same with some slight changes of setting, and that's just not enough um, in terms of what people were expecting from this game at this point. And this being the 4th trailer, it really feels like we haven't gotten all that much. So, yeah, definitely, definitely a big issue there. Gameplay demonstration, March 2023. So, in this gameplay demonstration, I think they finally showed us what is going to make this game feel so different. The different arm abilities they showed us look as though they will shake the game up dramatically. Fused is the one that personally stands out to me the most. It will change how the combat and the reward system works at its core, which will genuinely shake up the core gameplay loop. I think many people are underestimating how dramatically this ability could change how the game feels. Additionally, we're shown how exploring the Sky Islands will be different because travel is so much more restricted. And what I mean by that is obviously you can't just climb up. You have to use Ultra Hand to create those vehicles to fly up because you can't just climb up. So because the travel is more restricted, it will change how traveling feels. Despite this, I still saw people being unimpressed. Perhaps if they had teased Fuse more overtly in the previous trailer, it really could have drummed up hype for this gameplay demonstration more, and it would have allowed, or it would have just created more hype, and I think it would have helped a lot. But let's go ahead and get into my conclusions from this deep dive. So, there are many factors that could be leading to why fans may be dissatisfied with the trailers thus far. It's been an incredibly long cycle from the first reel to this point, and that will artificially create some of the dissatisfied people just by sheer impatience. However, besides that, I do think they've done a somewhat poor job revealing to people what about this game will be special. This game is taking place in the same world as the last, and no matter how many changes they make to it, the ground level will still feel a little repetitive regardless. In terms of setting, they've seemingly added some, like the Sky Islands you can see here, but nothing as big as what the first game is. So something other than setting must set this game apart. Something like a big grand story, dungeons, or huge gameplay mechanics that will shift how the game works. We've had some hits at a grand story, but nothing remotely close enough to be concrete to bank on. Realistically, we've had nothing on dungeons, which is another huge topic that could probably be its own video in itself, but nothing on dungeons pretty much, which is huge. And honestly, had we had anything on dungeons, I think this video wouldn't even be a topic, because I think that that is such a big deal that it would make people so excited. It wouldn't even This topic wouldn't even matter at all. It would not be a one. So that's definitely worth mentioning. And we probably just barely got what mechanics will shift how the game works. Fuse and Ultra Hand, and also some of the other ones as well. So for the most part of this marketing cycle, we haven't known what's going to set this game apart. We're just 2 months away, or when they revealed what will set the game apart, we were just 2 months or less than 2 months away from the release of the game. So because of that, I do think they've done a somewhat poor job. And I think had they revealed just the smallest bit of dungeons, which I do think will have some form of traditional dungeons, maybe not traditional, but we'll have some form of dungeons in this game. So yeah, I do think had they revealed any of that, this wouldn't even be a video. So I do think they've done a poor job at some level marketing this game. Yet I still have no doubt that the game will sell and the game will be incredible. Thank you guys for watching the video. Like it if you like it, and subscribe for more. I'll catch you guys next time.